Journey with Curity. If you are new here, welcome. Come in, grab a seat. As usual, you are welcome here. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Today is a lock update. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 whole years, 24 months. As a matter of fact, yesterday made it 2 years to the date. So these are my DIY Microlocs installed 2 years ago in stages. If you are familiar with my journey, or if not, I started with shaved sides. Yes, shaved sides. And I just had this section in the middle that I interlocked, and I waited until my sides grew in and then just added that to the rest of the journey. So these ones are younger than the ones at the top, but you can't tell. You can't tell. So without further ado, I'm going to go into giving you a look at the locks, and then I'll talk a bit about what's the update. As you know, every now and then I hit you guys with a random fact about me, something that has nothing to do with anything. But stay tuned to the end. I will be sharing a weird and a random fact about me. All right, back to the matter at hand. This is the area where I've always had the thin side. And that is a look at my locks at 2 years. I should also say that my retie is a month old. So typically, I would have been doing my retie already. However, as the time has progressed, I've tried to stretch it out a bit more. So I've stretched it out to 5 weeks. I'm trying to get to like 6, 7 weeks. I'm trying to get to a place where maybe I can go 6 to 8 weeks without having to do a retie. So when I am freshly retied, I will come back again to show you guys how it looks when it is freshly retied, because right now you're getting like roots. You are getting a lot of roots. So yeah. So let's talk about what's actually been happening with my locks. Throughout my updates, I've been talking about how a lot of my hair at the sides and the front tend to slip out. Now these ones at the side especially are the greatest offenders of slippage. This one still slipped out, but for some reason this one stayed in, and more the ones at the perimeter are staying in, and I'm so excited about that. So not as much slippage as I am accustomed to. And guys, my locks are locking. Like they're doing their thing. They are, I would say that I'm legitimately well and truly locked now because they're not going anywhere. The slippage I would tend to expect whenever I wash my hair, because usually when I wash my hair, I would expect that some of them would still come out or slip significantly. Now I can wash my hair without any fear. They don't budge. They don't budge, and they legitimately look. Now they look like. So, don't they look like locks? They look like locks. And so I've been happy with the journey so far. I still have some that are going through their thing. They're doing their, that thing that it does, the budding and all of that. It's still going through the maturity phase, and which is interesting because I would have thought that by 2 years, like all the change is done, but it's still going through its change. So, just a heads up in terms of the journey, it truly is a journey, it truly is a process. And it's fascinating to watch the transformation month by month. And sometimes from 1 month to the other, you don't necessarily see it, but then all of a sudden, a few months later, you see the significant difference. So, my ends, most of my ends are genuinely locked. Some, especially those that tended to slip out, that have stopped. The ends are still loose-ish, but on their way to being as closed as these ones, which are the oldest ones. And I think that is pretty much it. I don't have any complaints at all in terms of the state now, because like I said, I don't have to deal with slippage, and I can actually extend the period of time between reties. It takes less time, and I can extend the period of time because what was happening before is if I went past 4 weeks, guaranteed the roots would start to marry together significantly, but that is not happening as much. And so I'm just experimenting, as I said, with the time frame, like finding that sweet spot in terms of how often I need to do my reties without having to do it like on the ball every 4 weeks. Well, hello there. It's actually been almost 3 weeks since I gave my 2 year luck update, and I said I would come back when I'm finished retying. It took about 2 weeks for me to get around to even start doing the retie, and that was because I wasn't really in a rush, I wasn't really pushing it. So I actually got it to about 6 weeks in between reties, which is good. And I didn't have any major issues coming from that. Well, I didn't have any issues coming from that. And then it took me almost a week to get it done in between work and church and cooking and chores and life. So here we are, 3 weeks later, with me now showing you the retied look. I finished it last night, so it's like freshly retied. um of course, some areas are fresher than others because some would have been done at the beginning of the week and some only last night. yeah, and that is it. That is how my hair looks after retying. A lot less volume, but still not too bad since I'm doing the two-part rotation. All right, and so that is it. This is the completion of my 2-year lock update. If there are any questions that you have for me, any comments, leave them below and I will definitely check them out. And as usual, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next leg of the journey of life. Bye. So, one random fact that you may not know about me is that I have always tended to attract Rasta men. I'm talking about since in my teens. And when I say Rasta men, I'm not talking about men with locks because there's a difference between men with locks and Rastafarian men. But I've always had, for some reason, drawn them. They seem drawn to me. I've had persons wanting to make me their queen. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I give African queen energy. I don't know what it is. Even before this was a dream, Rastafarian men have always seemed to be attracted to me. Once again, no reason for this knowledge. Just wanted to share a random fact about me, something weird that you might not have known.